Once again, tonight's racing program brought to us by the Tire House, with 3 locations nearby: Kingston, Poughkeepsie, and Kerhonkson, New York. Proud sponsor of tonight's racing program. Caution lights get turned out. Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car drops down to the inside. Red Bureau knows it's time to go racing with a C&H Body Shop number 2 car. Here we come out of turn number 4 right now. Starter Kenny Marshall to the green flag in the air, and we go racing. Here on the inside, Gary Stevens on the outside. They battle out right now for the number 1 spot. Coming out of turn number 2, Red Muir grabs the number 1 spot, but here comes Howie Finch down the back straightaway. Bottom door is open, and the Countryside Oil car takes it down to the inside line. Finch grabs the number 1 spot down there in turn number 4. Gary Stevens following suit right behind the Arizona Body number 25 car. Stevens back here in the number 2 spot. Everett Halbrick now third. Red Muir back there in spot number 4. Steve Dodd on the outside, but here comes Danny Johnson. 3 abreast down there in turn number 2. Steve Dodd moving with a Ralph Plumbing Supply car. They go down the back straightaway. Dodd back there in the hot seat position, but here comes DJ on the inside. Johnson with a Freightliner Trucks of Newburgh car now mounts the challenge for the final qualifying position. Howie Finch brings him down the straightaway. Gary Stevens is second, Halbrick back there in third, and now Danny Johnson on the inside against Steve Dodd for spot number 4. Remember, only 4 cars qualify, and Dodd outpulls Johnson down the back straightaway. Steve Dodd, Danny Johnson, now Johnson takes the high road down there in turns number 3 and 4. DJ got to look to the outside, coming out of turn number 4 this time. They motor him down the home straightaway. Everett Halbrick up there with the number 3 spot, and here comes Danny Johnson. Johnson making Max up on the high road, but we've got problems down there in turn number 3. Problems down there in turn number 2 as the 3 cars touch wheels coming into turn number 2. Everett Halbrick, Danny Johnson, and Steve Dodd. Steve Dodd pairing out the worst of that tangle as the caution lights come on right now with 3 laps complete. 3 down, 5 to go. The first qualifying event for the small block modified. That'll be the Dash for Cash, both consolations, then the big block and small block feature. We want to get the big block modifieds out as early as possible tonight. Of course, of many drivers going to San Air tomorrow, way up there in the highlands of Canada. And then we'll be bringing back with the street stock and sportsman features to round out tonight's racing program. Caution lights have now been turned out, and we're set to go back to racing in the first qualifying event for the small block modified. The Olson Todd Oldsmobile pace car tells them it's time to go back to racing. Howie Finch on the outside. Here comes Danny Johnson down low. Now Finch takes the high road. Johnson takes the bottom side. Down the back straightaway, and Howie Finch outpowers Danny Johnson down the back straightaway. Finch keeps it up on the outside line. Down there in turns number 3 and 4. Finch on the outside, Johnson down on the inside. Danny Johnson grabs the number 1 spot at the halfway point. Danny Johnson, the Freightliner Trucks of Newburgh car. Now the new race leader, Howie Finch, is second. Third place battle going on as Red Muir slingshots down to the inside. Here comes Pat Van Derek. Look out for Gary Stevens. Caution lights coming on. Problems down the back straight. A lot more. That's the Tire House near you. Kingston, Poughkeepsie, and Kerhonkson. Meanwhile, the Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car drops down to the inside. Single file restart right now beyond the halfway point. Danny Johnson, DJ, the Danimal up there in the front row right now, brings him out of turn number 4. Green flag flies. We go back to racing. Well, Danny Johnson wasting no time, but he bobbles up a little high down there in turn number 2. Johnson slingshots down the back straightaway, grabs back the number 1 spot. Howie Finch back there in the number 2 spot right now. Battle going on for spot number 3. Red Muir up there in the number 2 car. Pat Van Derek right behind. Watch the battle right now for the final transfer spot. Joe Sarvis, the 94 car, takes him down to the inside. Caution lights, come on. Restart, going down the back straightaway behind the powers of the Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car. It swings down to the inside this time. The green light's going to come back on. Danny Johnson on a Phelps, New York, the number 6 car, your current race leader. Howie Finch back there in spot number 2. Red Muir's third. Joe Sarvis riding back in spot number 4. The green flag comes on, and we go back to racing. Danny Johnson. Johnson holds on to the lead right now. Howie Finch is second on the outside. The battle going on for that 3rd place. Going down the back straightaway on the inside line. The Deere sponsored 94 car of Joe Sarvis. Sarvis down to the inside, picks up the 3rd spot. Red Muir back there in spot number 4. The white flag comes out. Greg Morgan, the number 3 car, back there in spot number 5. He's one more spot to pick up a qualifying position. One more time around the Orange County Speedway right now as Danny Johnson motors down the back straightaway. Howie Finch is second. Joe Sarvis is third, and Red Muir back there in spot number 4. Checkered flag going to get set to fly this time. Down in turn number 4. The winner of the first qualifying event for the 358 Modified, the number 6 car, Danny Johnson. Second spot is Howie Finch. Third, Joe Sarvis, followed by Red Muir. Chris, the 17H car of Tom Hindley. Row 2, third spot, the 357 of Gary Huber. Alongside Gary in the 77 car, Jimmy Johnson. Row number 3 on the inside, the 7 of Donnie Wilson. Alongside Don in car number 22, Stan Sherman. Row number 4, the 55 of Rich Ricky Jr. and the 97H, Frank Cozy. Then back there in row number 5, the 84 car, that's Donnie Wolf. Heat number 2, now up on the grid, 8 laps, 4 cars qualified. Caution lights get turned out. The Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva Pace car swings down to the inside. Chris Crispin out of South Salem, New York, brings that Chalfani Oil 23 car down on turn number 4. Green flag flies, and here we go. Tom Hindley on the outside. The JB Masonry car grabs the number 1 spot. Now the battle taking place back there as the motor down the back straightaway. Nose and tail for spots number 1, 2, and 3. Hindley holds on to the lead. Chris Crispin is second. Jimmy Johnson third. Battling right now for spot number 4 on the inside. Frank Cozy, the 97H car. Remember, 4 cars qualified. Cozy takes over the final transfer spot. Hindley holds on to the lead. Problems with Chris Crispin. A lot of smoke coming out of Crispin's car as he backed off of it going into the turn. But here comes Cozy down the back straightaway. Cozy makes a move on the outside. Now tries to reel in second place runner Chris Crispin. Smoke coming out of Crispin's car once again when he backs off going into the turn, but the power not missing on that car. Crispin swing shot down to the inside against Tom Hindley. Crispin on the inside, Hindley on the outside. Crispin garners up enough power to get by for the lead. Chris Crispin grabs the lead going down the back straightaway. Tom Hindley is second. Frank Cozy third, and Jimmy Johnson back there in spot number 4. Rich Ricky Jr., the Pam's Bun and Run 55 car, back there in spot number 5. Now Cozy takes over spot number 2. Frank Cozy, the 97H car, back there in spot number 2, looks down to the inside against Chris Crispin, and Cozy breezes by Chris Crispin. Crispin garners up the horsepower, going down the back straightaway, and Crispin now puts on the threat. Crispin not backing out of it, stays up on the outside line against Frank Cozy, coming upon the halfway point this time. 4 laps down and 4 to go. Caution light coming on. Caution lights come on. Problems down here in turn number 1. Single file restart at the halfway point. And of course, 4 cars qualify into tonight's 20-lap Tire House Small Block Modified Feature event. And that'll be opening up sometime this chassis car from the Higbee Brothers Stables. Tom Hindley second, Rich Ricky Jr. is third, Jimmy Johnson back there in spot number 4. The Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva Pace car dropped down to the inside. We're set to go back to racing, small block modified style here in the 5/8 hard clay. Here they come on a turn number 4 right now, and Cozy knows it's time to go racing at the halfway point. They come down the straightaway, and Cozy wastes no time at all, holding on to the number 1 spot. Watch Rich Ricky Jr. right now take over spot number 2. Ricky, the Fall Fittings 55 car, up there to the runner-up spot. Tom Hindley third, and Jimmy Johnson back there in spot number 4. Gary Huber, 1 spot from qualifying right now in the Magnum Fabrications 357 car. Huber comes up on the outside of Jimmy Johnson back there in spot number 4. Final transfer spot going up for grabs right now. Jimmy Johnson on the inside. Gary Huber on the outside in car number 357, and Huber garnering up the horsepower down the back straightaway. Huber now grabs the final transfer spot. We're coming up on 2 laps to go. 2 to go this time around. Cozy rides down there in turns number 3 and 4. Rich Ricky Jr. from New Paltz, New York, traveling right behind. Third spot, the 17H car, Tom Hindley. And back there with a whole lot of power on the outside, but he taps the 17 car and loses some valuable racing space. It's Gary Huber. Jimmy Johnson picked back up the final qualifying position right now. Let's see if Huber can garner up the power to get by Johnson for that final transfer spot. The white flag comes out one more time around. Frank Cozy holds on to the number 1 spot. Rich Ricky Jr. is second. Tom Hindley third. And Jimmy Johnson back there in spot number 4. Watch Gary Huber back there in spot number 5, going down the back straightaway. Checkered flag coming out this time. 97H Frank Cozy. Second spot, Mike Ricky Jr. Third place by a whisker, Tom Langley, followed by Jimmy Johnson. 72 car of Billy Eggers. Alongside Bill in car number 60, Nicky Lapp. Row number 2, third spot, the 244 car, Chris Whitehead. Alongside Chris in car number 33, Mike Ricky. Row number 3 on the inside, the 24K, Kirk Van Duzer. Alongside Kirk in the number 14, Donnie Till. Row number 4, the 17 of Ralph Hetzler, and the 112 of Gary Mann. Then back in row number 5, the 61 car, Tommy Barrett. The Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car drops down to the inside. We're set to go racing, green flag style this time. Here they come, down the home straightaway. Billy Eggers knows it's time to go racing. Eggers, the Sign FX car, feels the heat on the outside from Nicky Lapp. Lapp grabs the number 1 spot. Here comes Mike Ricky on the outside. Ricky grabs the number 2 spot, going down the back straightaway. Third place battle is on the outside as Billy Eggers on the inside, Chris Whitehead. Whitehead takes over the number 3 spot, and here comes Donnie Till on the outside. Till back there battling for the number 4 spot. Mike Ricky drops down the inside against Nicky Lapp. Lapp holds on to the number 1 spot. Nicky Lapp on the inside. Mike Ricky on the outside. Ricky gonna try and build up the horsepower. Going down the back straightaway. He drops down to the inside against Lapp. Going down the back stretch. We've got problems with Ralph Hetzler. Yellow light's gonna come on. Coming out of turn number 2, problems as Ralph Hetzler slams the turn 2 concrete. Caution lights come on right now. Arriving tonight here at the Orange County Speedway. $2 for fair admission if you buy your racing tickets in advance. Also, Super Dirt Week tickets are available in the Speedway office only until the beginning of September. Track is now cleared. We're set to go back to racing. The Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car swings back down to the inside. Mike Ricky on the inside, double file style with Nicky Lapp. The Al Decorance on paving, number 60 car on the outside. Here we go, on turn number 4, the green flag flies, and we go back to racing. Mike Ricky on the outside, the reclamation car, grabs back the number 1 spot. Nicky Lapp back there in spot number 2, Donnie Till looking very good back in spot number 3. Chris Whitehead now feels the heat from Kirk Van Duzer, the Vantage Homes car. Van Duzer on the inside, picks up the final qualifying position. Whitehead transferring ground once again on the inside against Van Duzer coming down the home straightaway. Battle now going on back there in the number 4 spot. Kirk Van Duzer holds on to the number 4 position. Remember, only 4 cars qualify. Donnie Till on the outside. Here comes Van Duzer on the inside, coming upon the halfway point this time around. 4 down and 4 to go right now as Mike Ricky holds on to the lead. Nicky Lapp on the outside line, coming out of turn number 4 right now. Back there in spot number 2. Kirk Van Duzer holds on to spot number 3. And Chris Whitehead, the Vernon Pool and Spa 244 car, back there in spot number 4. Donnie Till, 1 spot from qualifying, back in spot number 5 right now, the blue number 14 car. Time begins to wind down for Till back there in spot number 5. Mike Ricky out of New Paltz, New York, holds on to the number 1 spot, the reclamation car. Back to spot number 2. We've got problems down there in turn number 1. Third place, Kirk Van Duzer. 4th is the 244 car, Chris Whitehead. Back there in spot number 5, the 14 of Donnie Till, followed by Billy Eggers and Tommy Barrett. Caution lights get turned out. The Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car swings down to the inside. Set to go back to racing 3 more times around for this 3rd qualifying event for the 358 Modifieds. Green flag comes out, the hammers go down, and we go back to racing. Mike Ricky wasting no time at all, grabbing back the number 1 spot. Nicky Lapp working well on the inside. Back there in spot number 2. Here comes Chris Whitehead. He closes up the gap right now in 3rd place runner, Kirk Van Duzer. Van Duzer, the Vantage Homes car, holds on to that 3rd place right now, and Whitehead back there in spot number 4, coming up on 2 laps to go this time around. 2 to go. Ricky holds on to the lead. Nicky Lapp back there in spot number 2. Kirk Van Duzer is 3rd. Chris Whitehead back in spot number 4. Time running out for Donnie Till if he's going to make a move and try and pick up a qualifying position. Till cannot garner up the horsepower needed to get by Chris Whitehead. White flag coming out this time. Nicky Lapp back there in the number 2 spot, takes the high road, but here comes Kirk Van Duzer on the inside. Van Duzer takes a stab for spot number 2 right now as the white flag comes out. 1 more time around. Mike Ricky holds on to the number 1 spot. Van Duzer now in spot number 2. Nicky Lapp back there in spot number 3, and Chris Whitehead. Whitehead holds on to spot number 4. Checkered flag coming out this time. Checkered flag getting set to fly. The winner of heat number 3 for the small block modified. Coming out of turn number 4 right now, the 33 car, Mike Rickey. Second spot, Kurt Van Duzer. Third, Nicky Lapp, followed by Chris Whitehead. Car of Jimmy Hauser. Alongside Jim in car number 87R, Rich Rosa. Row number 2, the 71H of Tim Hindley, and the K3 of Bobby Kronk. Row number 3, the 265, Frank Jazombowski, and the 26 car of Tom Foley. Row number 4, the 17 junior of Bobby Hayes, and the 53 Stevie Birchwell, or Steve Botcher that is, followed by the number 1 of Brett Hearn. Set to go racing this time as the Olsen Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car drops down to the inside. Remember, 4 cars qualify. Jimmy Hauser, the Hauser Brothers Mechanical HB2 car, comes down the home straightaway, takes the green flag, and we go racing. Jimmy Hauser grabs the number 1 spot. Rich Rosa right there like a shadow in spot number 2. Tim Hindley battles back there in spot number 3. Bobby Kronk against Frank Jazombowski down the back straightaway. 3 abreast down the back chute right now as Brett Hearn drops down to the inside against Stevie Botcher. Botcher, the number 53 car, back there in the tail side of the field right now as Hearn gets by on the inside. Hauser holds on to the lead. Rich Rosa drops down to the inside now. Rosa, the 87R car, back there in spot number 2. Tim Hindley holds on to 3rd spot. Frank Jazombowski is 4th. Look out for Bobby Kronk down the back straightaway. Kronk gets it around backwards, heads back in the right direction, but loses power. And that's going to bring out right now the caution flag. Caution lights will come on. Yellow on around the Speedway. Here, July the 22nd through August the 2nd this year, the annual Orange County Fair. Of course, that's always a much look forward to event here in the greater New York area. The 153rd annual Orange County Fair taking place right here on the fairgrounds property from July to row number 2, Brett Hearn in the number 1 car, and Frank Jazombowski in 265. 4 cars qualified. Caution lights now get turned out. The Oldsmobile Achieva pace car from Olsen Todd Oldsmobile Cadillac drops down to the inside. We get set to go back to racing green flag style. Here they come on a turn number 4 this time. Jimmy Hauser knows it's time to go back to racing. Watch Brett Hearn to the inside. Rich Rosa grabs the number 1 spot. 3 abreast down there in turns number 1 and 2. Brett Hearn takes over spot number 2. Here comes Jazombowski on the outside. Down the back straightaway. Tom Foley doing a very good job. The International Motor Plaza's car back in spot number 4. Now Hearn slingshots to the outside against Rich Rosa. Hearn grabs the lead. The yellow comes out. Car of Bobby Hayes having problems down there in turn number 3. Race leader is the Miller Genuine Draft number 1 car, Brett Hearn. 2nd spot, the 87R car, Rich Rosa. Going to restart back there in 3rd right now, the 265 of Frank Jazombowski. On the outside, the number 26 car of Tom Foley. Back there in spot number 5, the 53 car, Stevie Botcher, and the 71H of Tim Hindley. Then back there in spot number 7, the K3 car.
Congratulations for reaching the major leagues, and you never know, you keep hitting it.
Well, going to remain just a lap now at the Olsen Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car. Drops down to the inside. Here we come. Down there in turns number 3 and 4. Hearn on the inside. Rosa on the outside. Coming out of turn number 4 this time. The green flag flies. We go back to racing. Well, Hearn wastes no time at all, securing that number 1 spot. Frank Jazombowski tries to get a hook on the inside. Going down the back straightaway. Jazombowski in trouble. Well, a single file restart right now at the halfway point. 4 down, 4 to go. 4th qualifying event for the small block 358s.
Leader in photographic and performance technology and camera lens, your Ocfs source, located at 5.
Back to green flag racing. Brett Hearn, Rich Rosa, Tom Foley, and Jimmy Hauser, your top 4 qualifiers right now at the halfway point. Olsen Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car drops down to the inside. We get set to go back to green flag, and this time, here they come on a turn number 4. The green flag flies, the cameras go down, and we go back to racing. Hearn heads back to the number 1 spot. Rosa 2nd. Here comes Foley on the inside. Tom Foley, the International Motor Plaza's car, going down the back straightaway right now. 3 abreast. Everybody battling for spot number 4. Frank Jezembowski on the inside. Jimmy Hauser on the outside. And here comes Stevie Bottcher to make things exciting. 3 cars look for the final transfer spot right now. Frank Jezembowski holds on to that final hot seat position. Stevie Bottcher back there in spot number 5. Here comes Tom Foley down the back straightaway trying to make the move on Rich Rosa for spot number 2. Coming up on 2 laps to go, 2 to go this time around for race leader Brett Hearn. Hearn holds on to the lead, battling for spot number 2 right now on the inside. Tom Foley against Rich Rosa. Rosa holds on to the second spot. Third place is Foley, and right there like a shadow in spot number 4, the 265 car, Frank Jezembowski. Jezembowski back there in spot number 4. Stevie Bottcher 1 spot from qualifying right now as the white flag gets set to fly. White flag comes out this time around for race leader Brett Hearn. Rosa way up on the outside down there in turns number 3 and 4. Let Tom Foley by for spot number 2. Tom Foley now rides back there in spot number 2. Rich Rosa 3rd, and the battle is on for the final transfer spot. Jezembowski on the outside, outpowers Stevie Bottcher down the back straightaway. Checkered flag getting set to fly. Black and white's coming out. Watch the battle back there for that number 4 spot as Brett Hearn takes the 4th. He wins. Second place is Tom Foley. 3rd, Rich Rosa. And 4th spot, I'd say Stevie Bottcher. Stevie Bottcher. For number 3, the 280, Lauren Holland Jr. And the number 8 car, Mike Rickey. Row number 4, the 97X of Frank Cozy and the 92 Ralph Hetzler. 8 laps, 4 cars qualify into tonight's 30-lap Firehouse feature event. Olson Todd Oldsmobile achieve a pace car, moves down to the inside. We get set to go racing. Big block modified style, and here we go. Carl Van Horn, the Chariot Custom Band 71E car, grabs the number 1 spot. Pretty. Wilson rides back there in spot number 2. Mike Rickey on the outside, the number 8 car against Rick Clammer. Clammer, the Countryside Mobile car, pours on the heat down low right now. Only 4 cars qualify, and Mike Rickey grabs the number 3 spot. Here comes Frank Cozy on the outside. Cozy down the back straightaway. Not a whole lot of racing room on the outside line, but Cozy grabs the number 4 spot. Cozy back there in the Higbee Brothers 97 car. Lights are going to come out. That brings out the yellow right now with 2 laps down. It's being handed up by the starter that Carl Van Horn, a little too anxious on the initial start of this heat event. We penalized 2 spots for the quick start that he had down there in turn number 4. That'll put Mike Rickey now up in the number 1 spot. Billy Wilson 2nd, Carl Van Horn 3rd, and Frank Cozy back in spot number 4. 4 cars qualify. 2 laps have now been complete. Billy Wilson, the Wilson's Auto and Truck number 7 car, now takes over the pacing duties after the Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car. Swings down to the inside. Here we come on turn number 4, the green flag flies, and we go racing. Mike Rickey on the outside, grabs the number 1 spot. 3 cars looking for spot number 2 right now. Billy Wilson back there in the number 7 car, grabs the 2nd spot. Here comes Frank Cozy on the outside. Cozy, the 97 car, battling for 3rd place against Carl Van Horn. Van Horn on the inside, picks up the pace right now on the inside line, coming off of turn number 4. Van Horn puts on a challenge against Cozy right now and holds on to 3rd place. Cozy on the outside, Van Horn down on the inside, and here comes Cozy. Cozy pours it on, coming out of turn number 2 right now and takes over the runner-up position. Coming up on the halfway point this time, 4 laps down and 4 to go. Mike Rickey back there in the number 1 spot, holds on to the lead. Frank Cozy is 2nd. 3rd place, the battle is on between Billy Wilson and Carl Van Horn. Van Horn down on the inside, Ralph Hetzler on the outside. Battle going to take place for the number 1 spot, going down the back straightaway. Mike Rickey holds off the hard-charging Frank Cozy. Good race going on back there for spots number 3 and 4. Billy Wilson on the outside, Carl Van Horn on the inside. Cozy trying to power up Mike Rickey coming down the straightaway. Rickey holds off the hard-charging Cozy. Van Horn on the inside, Wilson on the outside. They battle right now for spot number 3. Wilson rim rides out of turn number 2 and holds on to that 3rd place. Here comes Ralph Hetzler against the 71E car, Carl Van Horn. 4 cars qualify. Coming up on 2 to go. 2 to go this time around. Watch the battle for spot number 4. Carl Van Horn to the inside. Ralph Hetzler on the outside. Blake Rickey holds on to the lead. Frank Cozy is second. Bill Wilson third. Ralph Hetzler back there in spot number 4. Rick Flammer with a flat right rear tire heading back to the pit area right now as the white flag comes out. White flag comes out. One more time around for Blake Rickey. Frank Cozy still second. Billy Wilson is third. Carl Van Horn holds on to spot number 4. Watch Ralph Hetzler right now. Last lap racing action for the 4th place position down the back straightaway. Hetzler takes over. Checkered flag coming out this time. The winner of the first qualifying event for the big block modified. Number 8, Mike Rickey. Second spot is Frank Cozy. Third place, Billy Wilson, followed by Ralph Hetzler. Jackson. Row number 2, the 89 car, Kenny Wismer, and the 406 of Rich Rickey Jr. Row number 3, the 114, Dwayne Howard, and the 35, Larry Brolsma. Row 4, the 44A car, Dirk Adrians, and the 44, Bill Cherry. Followed back in row number 5 by the 72, Brett Hearn. Second qualifying event, 8 laps, 4 cars qualified. Kenny Wismer electing to start in the rear of the field. Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car swings back to the inside, set to go racing right now, big block modified style. Here they come on turn number 4, Stan Sherman, green flag flies. Sherman on the outside, grabs the number 1 spot. Here comes Rich Rickey Jr. on the outside. Rickey grabs the number 2 spot. Craig Jackson third, Dwayne Howard back there in spot number 4. Sherman comes down, problems with Dwayne Howard down there in turn number 4. Race leader Stan Sherman, over anxious on the initial restart, jumped the starting point down there in turn number 4. He's being placed back to 3rd position right now. Row number 3 with Bill Cherry on the inside and Dirk Adrians on the outside, followed by Rich Rickey Jr. Caution lights get turned out. We get set to go back to green flag racing. Craig Jackson, the 96 J car. There's eight special coming down the whole straightaway. Green flag's out and the hammers go down. Craig Jackson holds on to the number 1 spot. Larry Brolsma second. Here comes Brett Hearn on the outside. Hearn stands on it down the back straightaway, switches grooves and looks for spot number 1. Yellow light's going to come right back out on the speedway. 406 car, Rich Rickey Jr. loses power down there in turn number 2. And that'll bring out the Stan Sherman back there in spot number 4. Caution lights get turned out. The Olson Todd pace car drops down to the inside. Brett Hearn knows it's time to go racing. Big block modified style. Now down in turn number 4. Hearn brings that field to big block modified. Down on turn number 4, the big flag flies, and here we go. Hearn back to the number 1 spot. Craig Jackson second. Larry Brolsma down to the inside for spot number 3. Here comes Stan Sherman on the outside, down the back straightaway. Sherman feels the heat right now from Dirk Adrians back there in spot number 5. Sherman up there on the outside, picking up the number 4 spot against Larry Brolsma. Brolsma holds on to spot number 3. Sherman is 4th, back in spot number 5 right now. It's last Wednesday night's feature winner of the big block modifies, the 44 car, Bill Cherry. Cherry back there, 1 spot from qualifying as they motor down the back straightaway. Stan Sherman is 4th, Larry Brolsma 3rd, Craig Jackson is 2nd, and Brett Hearn brings that field down in turns number 3 and 4. Halfway point coming out this time, 4 laps down and 4 to go. Brett Hearn having his night all to himself down the back straightaway, stretching out the number 1 spot. Craig Jackson still 2nd. Larry Brolsma back there in 3rd, and now Bill Cherry grabs the number 4 spot with the Asphalt Pavements S&S Alarms 44 car. Hearn with almost a straightaway lead over 2nd spot runner Craig Jackson. Brolsma still rides back there in spot number 3. Bill Cherry is 4th. Stan Sherman back there in spot number 5. Rich Rickey is then 6th, followed by Dwayne Howard and Dirk Adrians. Coming up on 2 laps to go. 2 to go this time around for race leader Brett Hearn. Jackson rides back in spot number 2. Rome is still third, and Bill Cherry out of Newburgh, New York, running back there in the inside line for spot number 4. White flag, and they set the fly this time. White flag coming out one more time around for race leader Brett Hearn. Greg Jackson still rides back there in spot number 2. Larry Broll in the third, and Bill Cherry closing in very quickly back there in spot number 4. Cherry looks down to the inside, going down the back straightaway. Brolsma rim rides down the back chute. Checkered flag getting set to fly this time. The winner of the second qualifying event for the big block modifieds, the number 72, Brett Hearn. Second spot is Greg Jackson. Third, Bill Cherry, followed by Larry Brolsma. Look out for Dwayne Howard. As the check along here at the Orange County Speedway. Set to go racing right now. Third qualifying event. Down in turns number 3 and 4, the Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car swings down to the inside. Here we come on a turn number 4. Time to go racing. Big block modified style. Ed Zachary out of Spring Valley, New York. The 156 car grabs the number 1 spot, but here comes Chuck McKee on the outside. McKee drops down to the inside line, going down the back straightaway. McKee on the inside, the John Binsky's Garage 702 car puts the challenge on for the number 1 spot against 156 of Ed Zachary. Third place back there right now, the 88 car, Frank Kazabowski, and fourth is Jeff Hetzler. Hetzler rides back there in spot number 4. Ed Zachary holds on to the lead. Chuck McKee is second. Frank Jazembowski third. Jeff Hetzler fourth. And here comes Whitey Kidd for spot number 5. Ed Zachary drops down to the inside. Chuck McKee finds the racing room on the outside line. Coming out of turn number 4 this time. Ed Zachary holds on to the lead. The Tyler's Automotive, Parent Speed Center, number 156 car. Jeff Hetzler finds his bottom side open right now as he comes out of turn number 2. Chuck McKee holds on to the second spot. Jeff Hetzler third. Frank Jazembowski back there in spot number 4. Jeff Hetzler getting very quick right now as he takes over the second spot against Chuck McKee. Hetzler likes the inside line here in Orange County tonight. Ed Zachary holds on to the lead. Jeff Hetzler second. Chuck McKee trying to rebound back there in spot number 3. Frank Jazembowski rides back there in spot number 4. 3 cars all nose and tail right now for the number 1 spot coming off at turn number 4. Hetzler way on the inside. Hetzler catches the inside rail. Chuck McKee gets by Jeff Hetzler for spot number 2. Hetzler dropping back to third place, and here comes Frank Jazembowski on the outside. Jazembowski, the Budget Beverages 88 car, now takes over spot number 3. Hetzler back in spot number 4, but here comes Whitey Kidd Jr. Kidd out of Staten Island, New York, the Edkins Auto Wrecking 95 car, now takes over the final qualifying position. Ed Zachary holds on to the lead. Chuck McKee is second. Frank Jazembowski third, and Whitey Kidd on the outside. Kidd holds on to the final qualifying position. Chuck McKee building up the horsepower, go down the back straightaway. Ed Zachary holds on to the lead down to the inside line. Chuck McKee keeping him there like a shadow as they follow nose and tail down there in turns number 3 and 4. McKee looks down to the inside. Coming up on 2 laps to go. They drag race down the home straightaway. Ed Zachary on the outside. Chuck McKee down to the inside. They drag race right now out of turn number 2 for the number 1 spot. Here comes Jazembowski down the back stretch right now. And 3 cars on look for the number 1 position. White flag comes out one more time around, and Zachary secures the lead. Zachary holds on to the lead. Chuck McKee right there like a shadow in spot number 2. Third place it is Frank Jazembowski. Whitey Kidd holds on back in spot number 4 as the white flag flies. Last lap racing action right now. And Zachary down to the inside. Chuck McKee on the outside. There they go down the back straightaway. McKee closes in on Zachary. Chuck McKee keeps the horsepower up on the rim shot this time. Coming down there in turns number 3 and 4. The checkered flag getting set to fly. Watch Chuck McKee power out of turn number 4. And McKee tangles with Zachary. The checkered flag comes out. The winner is Chuck McKee. Second spot is Whitey Kidd, followed by Frank Jazembowski. And Ed Chuck McKee. Second spot, the 95 car, Whitey Kidd. Third is the 88 Frank Jazembowski, followed by Ed Zachary. Allie Finch Row number 3, the 59, Bruce Klein, and the 97 of Jerry Higbee. Row number 4, the 15 car, Sean George, and the number 6 of Danny Johnson. Olson Todd, Oldsmobile Achieva pace car, drops down to the inside, set to go racing. Fourth qualifying event, 8 laps, 4 cars qualify. Here we come out of turn number 4. Buick brings that back to make one qualify down the home straightaway, and we go racing. Hank Goranson pours it on. The Prestige Auto Body 4 car on the outside grabs the number 1 spot. Buick down the back straightaway for spot number 2, but here comes the Countryside Oil 25 car of Howie Finch. Finch takes over the second spot, keeps it on the outside. Urich tries to rebound down to the inside. Coming on at turn number 4 this time. Lap number 1 going up on the scoreboard. Your leader, Hank Goranson. Second spot, it's Howie Finch. Third, Rich Urich, followed by Jerry Higbee. Higbee back there in the final transfer spot. Here comes Danny Johnson on the outside. Johnson takes over spot number 5. Hank Goranson, the Black Gold Racing, number 4 car, holds on to the lead right now. Howie Finch closing in very quickly down to the inside, the Countryside Oil 25 machine. Rich Urich holds on to the third spot. Jerry Higbee back there in spot number 4. Danny Johnson still not in a qualifying position. He pomels down there in turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, here comes Howie Finch, pours it on. Howie Finch grabs the number 1 spot. Goranson now second. Urich on the outside for third. Jerry Higbee rides the Mr. K's carpet car down to the inside line against Urich. Higbee now takes over the third spot. Urich is fourth. And DJ Danny Johnson still not in a qualifying position. Now Johnson switches grooves down to the inside at turn number 2. And Johnson picks that left run way up off the ground, going down the back straightaway. Johnson now takes over the third spot. Takes up to the outside against Jerry Higbee. Coming up on the halfway point this time. Halfway, 4 down and 4 to go for race leader Howie Finch. Hank Goranson second, Danny Johnson third, and Jerry Higbee riding back there in spot number 4. Rich Urich, the Countryside Oil Collier Car Company number 10 car. 1 spot from qualifying. Sean George entering the picture back there in spot number 6. Howie Finch, the Countryside car, up there in the number 1 spot. Watch Danny Johnson take to the outside, coming out of turn number 4 this time. Hank Goranson holds on to second. Danny Johnson third. Jerry Higbee rides back in spot number 4. Johnson giving it all he's got to the outside to come up to the outside on Goranson, going down the back straightaway. But the animal now takes over spot number 2. Danny Johnson, the ride that Freightliner car, way up on the outside line for the second runner-up position. Coming up on 2 laps to go, trying to go this time around. Watch Johnson drop that car down to the inside against race leader Howie Finch. Finch holds on to the horsepower, down the back straightaway. Danny Johnson still second, Hank Goranson third, and Sean George now back in spot number 4. White flag coming up this time. Let's see if Johnson has the horsepower to reel in race leader Howie Finch coming down the straightaway this time. Finch holds on to the lead. Johnson still second. Goranson third. Sean George back there in spot number 4. Johnson drops down to the inside against Howie Finch. Side by side, they go down the back straightaway. Howie Finch holds on to the lead. Danny Johnson still second. Hank Goranson third. And Sean George back there in spot number 4. Checkered flag coming out this time. Watch the drag race off at turn number 4 for the 4th heat win. They come down to the line. The winner is Howie Finch. Second spot, Danny Johnson. Third, Hank Goranson, followed by the 15 car of Sean. Of the 4th qualifying heat event for the Big Block Modifieds, the number 25 car of Howie Finch. Second spot, it's Danny Johnson. Third, Hank Goranson. And 4th, alongside Chuck in car number 25, it's going to be Howie Finch. Row number 2, starting in 3rd spot, the number 8 of Mike Rickey. And the 72 of Brett Hearn. Now, these are the 4 heat winners out here tonight for the Big Block Modifieds. And they'll be going out time you buy up at the Olson Todd Oldsmobile Cadillac Foundation. Middletown Honda, Dash for Cash. Gets set to take place right now. Chuck McKee on the inside. Howie Finch on the outside. Here we come. Out of turn number 4, the green flag flies, and we go racing. Finch on the outside, McKee grabs the lead. Here comes Brett Hearn, 3 abreast down there in turn number 2. Coming down the back straightaway right now. Chuck McKee holds on to the lead. Brett Hearn is second. Mike Rickey third, and Howie Finch dropping off the pace. Hearn looks down to the inside. Chuck McKee up on the outside. Here we come out of turn number 4 this time. Hearn slingshot down to the inside. Drag raises Chuck McKee and grabs the number 1 spot. Brett Hearn now your new race leader. Hearn leads right now, 1 down, 3 to go. Chuck McKee is second. Mike Rickey looks down to the inside. McKee back there, the Binsky's Garage 702 car. Down the back straightaway in spot number 2. Mike Ricky rides back in spot number 3 and problems with Howie Finch as he is now taking it behind pit wall. Fred Horn brings the Auto Palace 72 car down the home straightaway. The Middletown Honda Dash for Cash, and he's on a roll right now down the red turn number 2. Chuck McKee second on the outside. Mike Ricky comes on the inside. Mike Ricky, the Pam's Bun and Run number 8 car, holds on to the 3rd spot. White flag coming out this time. One more time around for Brett Hearn. Hearn looking for another Dash for Cash win out here tonight. Brought to us by Middletown Honda. Chuck McKee rides back there in spot number 2. Mike Ricky still running in spot number 3. Hearn all by his lonesome. Down the back straightaway. Chuck McKee still second. Mike Ricky is third right now. Checkered flag coming out. The winner of the Middletown Honda Big Block Modified Dash for Cash, the number 72, Brett Hearn. Second spot going to be the 702 of Chuck McKee, followed by the number 8, Mike Ricky. The winner of the Middletown Honda Dash for Cash, Brett Hearn. Second spot, the number 702 of Chuck McKee. And third, the number 8 of Mike Ricky. Honda Dash for Cash, Brett Hearn. Fred, looks like you're having quite an easy time at things out there so far tonight. Didn't take you long to grab the heat win or the Dash for Cash.
Well, I'll tell you, the Auto Palace car is working good tonight, and I guess this time of year we just get warmed up, Tim. You know, we've been racing so many times during the week and stuff, and we start to get into rhythm, and you start to feel better about driving and feel better about the car and stuff, and you gain confidence in the car, and that's what this is all about.
Any changes now for the feature event, or are you right on line?
Well, I think it's just a matter of tires now. We got to choose the right tires, and I think everything feels pretty good. I'm real happy with it.
Well, we might be talking to you a little bit later on. Brett, congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Brett Hearn, your Middletown Honda Dash for Cash winner tonight, and you should look real good now for feature event time.
Yeah, we should have a pretty good starting spot. The Penske car is really, it's starting to come on. We've had a real tough hard in the beginning, but I think we're going to come through. We got a lot of season left, so let's see what happens.
Well, last couple of weeks, it seems like you've become definitely one of the contenders out here for the Big Block Modifieds, and the car obviously working very well.
Yeah, we got it dialed in pretty good, but we'll see how long it stays there for tonight.
Okay, Chuck, congratulations. Second place in the Middletown Honda Dash for Cash. Mike Ricky, a driver of many companies here at the Orange County Speedway. You held on back there for third place, and maybe you can move up 2 more spots now for feature event time.
Yeah, we went with too hard a tire for the Dash. I just misread the track, but in the feature...
The C&H Body Shop, number 2 car. He's your pole sitter for this event. Rich Rosa, the 87R car on the outside in row number 1. Caution lights get turned out. Olson Todd Oldsmobile Achieva Pace car swings down to the inside. We get set to go racing. Small block modified style. The Tire House 20 lap small block feature event. Here they come out of turn number 4 this time. Red Muir comes down the home straightaway. The green flag flies, and we go racing. Muir grabs the number 1 spot. Mickey Lapp on the inside, the Bob Decker and Son paving car. Decker takes over spot number 2 down the back straightaway. Rich Rosa third, but here comes Howie Finch on the inside. Finch drops down to the inside. The Countryside Oil car taking over spot number 3. Rosa on the outside for spot number 4. Chris Whitehead making some heavy tracks on the inside line for spot number 5. Down the home straightaway. Red Muir feels the heat right now with Mickey Lapp. Here on the outside. Holds on to the lead. Mickey Lapp down low, side by side. 3 abreast right now for the number 1 spot. Howie Finch on the outside. The door gets closed going down the back straightaway. Red Muir and Nicky Lapp side by side looking for the number 1 spot, and Howie Finch back there looking for some racing room. Finch, the Countryside Oil car, finds the bottom side open, gets by, and he is your new race winner. Talk about some racing strategy on Howie Finch's car, grabbing that lead down there in turn number 4. the Countryside Oil 25 car. Second spot going up for grabs, going down the back straightaway on the inside. The number 60 of Nicky Lapp on the outside. The number 2 of Red Muir. Lapp now takes over spot number 2. Muir back to spot number 3. And Chris Whitehead rides proud down there in spot number 4. Whitehead slingshots down to the inside. The 244 car now up to spot number 3. Muir back in spot number 4. Mike Ricky rides back in spot number 5. Ricky, the reclamation car, running back there in the number 5 spot right now as the motor down the back straightaway. Ricky looks to the outside on Red Muir, going down in turns number 3 and 4. Mike Ricky now grabs the number 4 spot. Race leader Howie Finch comes down the home straightaway. Nicky Lapp is second. Chris Whitehead on the inside for spot number 3. Mike Ricky rides back there in spot number 4. Red Muir is 5th, but here comes Rich Ricky Jr. The 55 car now makes a break for the top 5. Danny Johnson following right behind in car number 6. Johnson back there in the number 6 spot right now, the Freightliner Express car. 5 laps, the down's incomplete. Howie Finch holds on the lead. Chris Whitehead is second. Nicky Lapp third. Mike Ricky back there in spot number 4. Rich Ricky Jr. runs back there in spot number 5. Danny Johnson running back there in the number 6 spot. Johnson looks to make a break into the top 5. Running order comes up on the outside of Mike Ricky right now. Johnson rim rides down there in turns number 3 and 4. Howie Finch holds on to the lead. Whitehead is second. Mike Ricky third. Nicky Lapp fourth. Rich Ricky Jr. back in spot number 5. Watch Danny Johnson work the outside line against Mike Ricky right now. Johnson back there in spot number 6. Kurt Van Hooser 7th. Brett Hearn is now 8th. Hearn back in the number 8 spot. Red Muir is 9th. And now, Danny Johnson is up in the number 5 position. Johnson on the outside makes a break for the top 5 running order. Howie Finch holds on to the lead. Chris Whitehead is second. Yellow, white coming on. Caution around the Speedway. 87 hard car. Rich Rosa in trouble down there between turns number 3 and 4. That brings out the yellow right now. Chris Whitehead on the outside, Mike Ricky on the inside in row number 2, and Danny Johnson riding back there in spot number 4 right now. Johnson, the Freightliner Trucks of Newburgh car, started this event back there in spot number 14, now riding on the outside in spot number 4. Restarting back in row number 3 in spot number 5, the 55 car. That's Rich Ricky Jr. from New Paltz, New York. On the outside of Ricky car. Caution lights now get turned out. We're set to go racing. Small block modified style. 7 laps are now in the books. The Olsen Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car moves down to the inside. Here we come. Down there in turns number 3 and 4. Starter Kenny Marshall looks him over. Howie Finch, the Countryside Oil car, looking for ring number 1 this year here at Orange County Speedway. Finch wastes no time at all. Grabbing back the number 1 spot. Mike Ricky on the outside. Here comes Rich Ricky Jr. It's the Ricky's brothers down the back straightaway right now. Rich Ricky on the inside, Mike Ricky on the outside. Chris Whitehead working back there in spot number 4. Brett Hearn works on the outside against Danny Johnson for spot number 5. Watch the battle right now for the number 5 spot. Danny Johnson swings by on the inside for spot number 4. Brett Hearn rides back in spot number 5. Howie Finch holds on to the lead. Rich Ricky is second. Mike Ricky third. Danny Johnson is fourth. And here comes Brett Hearn to the inside. Hearn, the Miller Genuine Draft car. Looks for racing room on the inside of Danny Johnson. Johnson comes down to the inside, closes up the racing room with the Freightliner Trucks to Newburgh number 6 car. Johnson rides back there in spot number 4. Mike Ricky still runs in third. Rich Ricky on the outside. Rich, the 55 car, down low, puts the heat on. Howie Finch going down the back straightaway. Howie Finch knows that the freight train rolling right there behind him. Now, Mike Ricky slingshots to the outside of Rich Ricky Jr. coming up to the halfway point this time. 10 laps down and 10 to go. Here we come, down the home straightaway. Rich Ricky Jr. building up the horsepower. Danny Johnson, 3 laps down there in turns number 1 and 2. Howie Finch hammered down the back straightaway, but here comes Danny Johnson. Johnson down along the inside against Mike Ricky for the number 2 spot. Ricky rim rides down there in turns number 3 and 4. Watch the Danimal work on the inside, coming out of turn number 4 this time. Danny Johnson drives races down the home straightaway. Johnson on the inside, Howie Finch on the outside, and look out for Finch going too high down there in turn number 1. And now it's all Danny Johnson down the back straightaway. Johnson grabs the number 1 spot. Mike Ricky rides back in spot number 2. Rich Ricky is third. Brett Hearn back in spot number 4. And Howie Finch back in spot number 5. Danny Johnson wasting no time at all. Stretching out the number 1 spot. Keeps the Freightliner car nice and low coming out of turn number 2. Mike Ricky, the reclamation car, running back there in the second spot. Rich Ricky Jr. is third. Brett Hearn fourth, followed by the 25 of Howie Finch. Chris Whitehead riding back there in spot number 6. Kirk Van Duzer is 7th. Nicky Lapp is 8th right now. Danny Johnson rides the number 1 spot going down the back straightaway. It's the brothers Ricky going down the back street right now in spots number 2 and 3. Mike Ricky second, Rich Ricky third. Down Hearn gets gutsy on the outside. Down there in turns number 3 and 4. Brett Hearn takes a ride on the wild side. Coming out of turn number 4 this time to get 5. Rich Ricky, it does not work. Ricky holds on to the number 3 spot. Ricky on the inside line against brother Mike Ricky. Mike Ricky holds on to the second spot. Rich Ricky third, Brett Hearn fourth. Howie Finch back there in spot number 5. Coming up on 5 laps to go, 5 to go this time around for race leader Danny Johnson. Johnson with a straightaway lead over second spot runner Mike Ricky. Third place Rich Ricky Jr. Fourth is Brett Hearn. Hearn on the outside once again trying to find the racing gap around Rich Ricky Jr. Going down the back straightaway this time. Hearn on the outside gets by Rich Ricky Jr. for spot number 3. Hearn now third, Rich Ricky back there in spot number 4. Mike Ricky rides in spot number 2. Danny Johnson holds on to the lead. DJ down there in turn number 2 right now. Mike Ricky second. Hearn drops it down to the inside line against Mike Ricky for spot number 2. Hearn on the inside. Mike Ricky on the outside. Side by side down the back. Should put Mike Ricky outdoor Brett Hearn for the number 2 spot. Time beginning to wind down right now for Brett Hearn back there in spot number 3 if he wants to make a move for the number 2 spot. Danny Johnson coming out of turn number 4 this time. Working through lap traffic on a turn number 2. Mike Ricky is second. Brett Hearn right there like a shadow in spot number 3. Rich Ricky Jr. is fourth. And Howie Finch back in spot number 5. Coming up on 2 laps to go. 2 to go this time around. Race leader Danny Johnson deep in the heart of lap traffic right now. Down there in turn number 2. Mike Ricky still holds on to the second spot. Lap car slowing down there in turn number 2. They squeak by. Mike Ricky down the back straightaway. The caution lights come on. Caution lights coming on. 18 laps have now been complete. The running back there in spot number 6. Kirk Van Duzer is then 7th in a 24K car. Red Muir running back there in spot number 8. Tom Foley is 9th. Boucher riding back there in spot number 10. Single file restart. 18 down, just 2 more times around.
Comes allowed only 1 hit to this point. He has gone 2 and struck out 5.
Caution lights now get turned out. The Olsen Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car drops down to the inside. Danny Johnson knows it's do or die time. 2 more times around. Mike Ricky and Brett Hearn back there in spots number 2 and 3. Here we come on a turn number 4. The green flag flies and we go back to racing. Well, Rich Ricky Jr. caught Brett Hearn asleep and picked up the number 3 spot, but here comes Howie Finch on the outside. 3 cars look for the number 2 spot, and they come together down the back straightaway. They bobble, they touch wheels. White flag coming out, the action getting hot back here for the number 2 and 3 spots right now. Danny Johnson comes down the home straightaway. It's taking up back there in the number 2 spot. Rich Ricky Jr., Brett Hearn third, Mike Ricky fourth, and Howie Finch back there in spot number 5. Checkered flag getting set to fly. The winner of the Tire House 20 laps small block modified feature event from Phelps, New York. It's the doctor himself, the 6th car, Danny Johnson. Second spot is going to be close for Hearn. Third spot, Mike Ricky. Fourth, and it's Rich Ricky Jr. followed by the 25 of Howie Finch. lap feature event, Danny Johnson. Second spot, the number 1, Brett Hearn. Third, it was Rich Ricky Jr., followed by Mike Ricky and Howie Finch. And here it is out of the car, Danny Johnson. And we'll get a few words with Danny as he's now climbed out of the car. And Danny, you really worked hard for that feature out here. What went through your mind? 18 down and a single file restart with just 2 more laps to go.
The car was working good. Just getting a good start off the corner and, maintaining my momentum through the corners. Everything worked well for us.
You had a nice big lead out there, and then it all came down to the wire. There was a whole lot of action taking place behind you.
I didn't see none of that. I was just out front. I was all by myself, and I didn't have anybody even close to me.
Well, Danny, you did a good job out here, and the folks from Tire House are going to get their picture taken with you in a super night out. Congratulations once again, Danny Johnson out of Phelps. Johnny Owen. Johnny's life came to a close here at the Orange County Speedway 6 years ago, last night. And the Owen family is back with us again, longtime friends of the Orange County Speedway. And Danny Johnson will receive the 6th annual Johnny O Memorial Trophy here tonight from the Owen family. Johnny Owen, of course, longtime runner here at the Orange County Speedway in the familiar black number 24 car. Was fatally injured here in a crash 6 years ago. As a matter of fact, it was 6 years ago yesterday to date. And the Owen family coming back every year, presenting a trophy in memory of Johnny O. Johnny Owen, gone, but certainly not forgotten. So we want to thank the Owen family once again for coming out here for the 6th year in a row. Row 10, Carl Van Horn and Jerry Higby. Row 12, Rich Urick, Dwayne Howard, followed by Stan Sherman, Bruce Klein, and Rich Ricky Jr. 30 laps, big block modified. Feature excitement now on tap. Brought to us once again by the Tire House. The caution lights will get turned out in just a second. One more lap going to be displayed right now. A couple of confusing start spots here. But all the cars did answer the call. So Adrians will not be able to start this feature. He did not qualify in the consolation, but he was first alternate. Hank Goranson, Billy Wilson up there in the number 1 spot. Have now been turned out. 30 laps, a big block modified. Feature excitement now on tap, and we are set to go racing. The Olsen Todd Oldsmobile Achieva pace car takes him down the back straightaway for the last time. It swears into the infield right now. Caution lights out, the hammer's going down. Hank Goranson and Billy Wilson bring that back, a big block modified. Down there at turns number 3 and 4. Starter Kenny Marshall looks him over down there as they come out of turn number 4 this time. Hank Goranson, the Prestige Auto Body 4N car. News, it's time to go racing. The green flag flies, and here we go. Goranson grabs the number 1 spot, but Wilson works well on the outside. Here comes Ed Zachary coming out of turn number 2 right now to pick up the number 3 spot. Chuck McKee going down the back straightaway on the outside line for spot number 4. Goranson holds on to the lead. Billy Wilson right back there in spot number 2. Ed Zachary on the inside, the orange 156 car, and Chuck McKee the big around the 706 car on the outside, a great track there. Hank Goranson, the 4N car from Wallkill, New York, holds on to the number 1 spot. Billy Wilson still rides back there in spot number 2. Chuck McKee runs back there in spot number 3. Here comes Mike Ricky, the Pam's Bun and Run number 8 car on the outside, trying to make a break into the top 5, running order. Ricky on the outside of Greg Jackson right now. Jackson rides back there in spot number 6. Frank Cozy on the outside, the 97X car. Mike Ricky now rides back in spot number 5. Cozy is 6th, Jackson 7th. Here comes Brett Hearn on the inside of Howie Finch for spot number 8. Hearn now rides back in the number 8 position. Race leader Hank Goranson comes down on the turn number 4. Billy Wilson still in 2nd. Chuck McKee is 3rd. Mike Ricky on the outside of Ed Zachary for spot number 4. Battle going on right now for the 2nd spot. Down to the inside line rides Chuck McKee, but here comes Billy Wilson building up the horsepower on the outside. Prove. Wilson holds on to it, sneaks down to the inside against Goranson. Goranson brings that back down there in turns number 3 and 4. Hank drops him down to the inside, coming down the home straightaway. Mike Ricky gets by for spot number 2. Bill Wilson rides on the outside for spot number 3, but here comes Chuck McKee on the the inside. 3 abreast coming out of turn number 2 right now. Everybody looking for the number 3 position. Chuck McKee down the back straightaway onto the inside. McKee back there in third. Here comes Mike Rickey on the inside against Hank Goranson. Goranson on the outside. Mike Rickey down on the inside. That'll run off in the number 1 spot, and here comes Mike Rickey. Rickey now grabs the number 1 spot. Goranson second. Hearn on the outside. Here comes Bart Hearn. The outside is open. Down the back straightaway. Hearn grabs the number 2 spot right now. Mike Rickey onto the inside for the lead. Hearn not giving up. Stands on it down there in turns number 3 and 4. Hearn takes the number 72 car up to the outside line against Mike Rickey down the home straightaway. And Brett Hearn grabs the number 1 spot. Mike Rickey is second. Hank Goranson rides second spot number 3. Chuck McKee running at 4th right now. Frank Cozy rides back there in spot number 5. Billy Wilson is 6th. Howie Finch is 7th. Frank Jazembowski 8th, Craig Jackson 9th, and Danny Johnson back in spot number 10. Hearn runs down the home stretch right now in the number 1 spot. Hearn wasting no time at all, stretching out the number 1 position of the second spot runner, Mike Rickey. Chuck McKee rides back there in spot number 3. Frank Cozy hooking up on the outside against Hank Goranson for spot number 4. Cozy now runs up in the number 4 spot. Hank Goranson is 5th, followed by Wilson and Howie Finch. Continues to dominate. 30-lap pace revenge. Mike Rickey still rides in spot number 2. Chuck McKee on the outside. Something wrong with Billy Wilson. He heads down to the inside pit area right now. Cozy runs back there in the number 4 spot. Hank Goranson rides back in spot number 5. Riding down there in turns number 1 and 2. Mike Rickey still second. Chuck McKee third. Frank Cozy fourth. Goranson back there in spot number 5. Howie Finch is 6th. Here comes Danny Johnson on the outside. Back there in spot number 8 against Frank Jazembowski. Jazembowski on the inside. Danny Johnson on the outside. Johnson takes over the number 7 position. Now 7th, Jazembowski is 8th, Craig Jackson 9th, and Bill Cherry back there in spot number 10. Brett Hearn, hammer down, not looking back in this Firehouse feature event for the Big Block Modifieds. Yellow lights coming on, problem. Frank Jazembowski going down the back straightaway, drops off the pace, and that brings out the yellow in the 30-lap Tire House feature event. Concern for Hearn out here tonight. The last couple of laps we watch Hearn ride up on the high side. And the number 8 car down to the inside. Rickey currently running in spot number 2. Chuck McKee then 3rd. Frank Cozy is 4th. Hank Goranson running back there in spot number 5. Howie Finch is 6th. Danny Johnson is now running in spot number 7.
He already has 4 shutouts this year.
Caution lights have been turned out. The Olsen Todd Oldsmobile Achieva Pace car swings down to the inside. Mike Rickey on the inside. Brett Hearn, the race leader, on the outside groove. Here they come, side by side, down in turns number 3 and 4. Kenny Marshall looks him over the green flag flies. The hammers go down. We go back to races. Hearn back to the number 1 spot. Mike Rickey on the outside. 3 cars look for the number 2 spot as Frank Cozy enters the picture. Cozy back there in spot number 3. McKee is 4th, and here comes DJ back there in spot number 5. Danny Johnson has now made a break into the top 5 running order, trying to reel in 4th place runner Chuck McKee right now. McKee on the outside, Danny Johnson on the inside. Johnson picks up spot number 4. Frank Cozy knows it's time to go racing. Chooses the inside groove coming out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway they go. Mike Rickey runs in 2nd. Frank Cozy 3rd. Danny Johnson coming up very quickly on the outside. Johnson rides the outside line against Frank Cozy right now, battling for spot number 3. Hearn holds on to the lead. Hearn stretching out the number 1 spot. Mike Rickey 2nd on the outside. Frank Cozy is 3rd. Danny Johnson 4th. Chuck McKee back there in spot number 5. Howie Finch is 6th. Whitey Kidd 7th. Here comes Bill Cherry 8th. Hank Goranson 9th. And Larry Brolsma back in spot number 10. Coming on the outside, Johnson takes it way up on the outside against Frank Cozy. Cozy holds on to the 3rd place out of turn number 2, keeping the horsepower. Build up in that big block modified power plant. Cozy rides back there in spot number 3, the Higbee Brothers 97X car. But here comes the animal, Danny Johnson, working on the outside of Frank Cozy. Halfway comes up this time, 15 down, 15 to go. And a whole lot of time for Danny Johnson to try and reel in race leader Brett Hearn. Let's see right now as Johnson goes down the back straightaway. Johnson rides back there in the number 4 spot. Frank Cozy third, Mike Rickey is second. Cozy keeps it on the outside line. Johnson this time chooses the inside circuit around turns number 3 and 4. Johnson, manhandling the number 6 car, down to the inside and turn number 1. Hearn holds on to the lead. Mike Rickey is second. Frank Cozy back there in spot number 3. Johnson trying every trick in the book to get by Frank Cozy. Johnson this time tries him on the outside. Cozy very, very strong. The Pontiac body number 97 car. The Higbee Brothers, Victor Payne, Corporate Special. Cozy slides to the outside. Johnson looks down to the inside. McKee rides back in spot number 5. Watch Danny Johnson, stands on it down there in turns number 3 and 4, pulls up alongside of Frank Cozy. Cozy rallies, has his driving act together out here tonight. Cozy very, very strong up there in the number 3 spot. He takes the inside line, Johnson takes the outside. Mike Rickey continues to rally back there in the number 2 spot. Chuck McKee is 5th. Bill Cherry back in spot number 6. Hallie Finch is 7th. Larry Brolsma 8th. Craig Jackson 9th. And Whitey Kidd round out the top 10 running order. Brett Hearn holds on to nearly a straightaway lead right now. Look out down the home straightaway. They come together. And Cozy holds on to it as Cozy and Johnson touch wheels coming on at turn number 4. Cozy to the outside. Here comes Johnson. Now he's gone racing on the inside line. Coming up on 10. Laps to go. The race of the evening right now taking place in a battle for the number 3 position. Danny Johnson on the inside. Frank Cozy on the outside. They drag race down the home straightaway. Johnson manhandling the Freightliner car down to the inside line, and Cozy rim riding his usual outside style on turn number 2. Cozy outpowers Johnson down the back straightaway. Mike Rickey rides back there in the number 2 spot. Brett Hearn holds on to the lead. Hearn still your leader. Mike Rickey second. Frank Cozy third. Danny Johnson fourth. Chuck McKee back there in spot number 5, and here comes Bill Cherry. Once again coming up to play right now. Going to make a break into the top 5 running order against Chuck McKee. McKee very strong in the Binsky's Garage 702 car. Holds off the hard-charging Bill Cherry. Brett Hearn, hammer down, not looking back. A straightaway lead over second spot runner Mike Rickey. Frank Cozy still third on the outside. Danny Johnson not giving up the fight. Johnson tries to put the move on Cozy once again. Cozy holds on to that third place challenge down the back straightaway. Danny Johnson runs in fourth. The battle right now taking place for spot number 5. Chuck McKee rides the outside. Bill Cherry comes on to the inside. Brett Hearn holds on to the number 1 spot. A whole lot of racing going on behind him. Mike Rickey still second. Frank Cozy is third. Brett Hearn running back there in spot number 4. Now Bill Cherry grabs the number 5 spot away from Chuck McKee. 24 laps and now be complete. 24 down, just 6 more times around. Lap traffic may become a factor. Hearn holds on to the lead on the outside. Mike Rickey still second. Frank Cozy third. Danny Johnson is fourth. Bill Cherry rides back there in spot number 5. The asphalt pavement SNS Alarms car. Chuck McKee running back in spot number 6. 5 laps to go. Hearn comes by. Rickey still second. Cozy third. Johnson fourth. Cherry is 5th. Chuck McKee back there in spot number 6. Hallie Finch is 7th. Larry Brolsma back in spot number 8. Jackson 9th and White is still 10th. Time now beginning to wind down. Hearn knows that the end is there, but he sees lap traffic as he comes down the home straightaway. Mike Rickey still rides back in spot number 2. Frank Cozy is third. Danny Johnson high powering into the outside line down there in turns number 3 and 4. Johnson knows that the clock is ticking and time is up right now to make a move. Johnson, the Freightliner truck, the Bluebird car, doing a very strong job. Bill Cherry, an outstanding ride for for Cherry out here tonight. Back there in the number 5 spot. Watch Brett Hearn right now. He starts to reel in back marker. Rich Urich as he comes out of turn number 2. Back markers have now become a factor as they go down the back straightaway. Hearn caught in lap traffic. Looks up to the outside. Coming up on 2. Laps to go. 2 to go this time around. 2 laps to go. Brett Hearn still holds on to the lead. Hearn caught in the middle of lap traffic. Mike Rickey still second. Frank Cozy is third. And here comes Danny Johnson once again in spot number 4. Johnson rides back there in spot number 4. Bill Cherry still back in spot number 5. White flag really coming down very soon. White flag through Aldeck. Very cautiously goes through the lap traffic right now. White flag out. Just one more time around. And it's a Firehouse feature win for Brett Hearn out here tonight. Down the back straightaway they go. Mike Rickey still second. Frank Cozy third. Danny Johnson back there in spot number 4. Checkered flag hitting set the fly. The wall in the Firehouse. 30 left. Feature event. Brett Hearn. Second spot coming down to the wire. It's going to be Mike Rickey and Frank Cozy third over Danny Johnson fourth, followed by Bill Cherry. In the winner of the Firehouse 30 lap big block feature event, Brett Hearn. Second spot, the number 8, Mike Rickey. Third and a real close third for the number 97 of Frank Cozy. Fourth place, the number 6 of Danny Johnson. And fifth in the number 44 car, Bill Cherry. The winner of the Firehouse 30 lap feature event, Brett Hearn. Well, Brett, congratulations once again. Another clean sweep night for you here in the big block modified class with a heat win, a dash for cash win, and a feature win. You got out front early and you never looked back.
Well, I'll tell you, the car was just working so good. And then I got into the backstretch wall a ton and hit my knee pretty good on the steering box and spread the seat out a little bit. And I thought, man, that's the end of that for us. But the car felt a little funnier after that, but I'm sure it's bent up, but it was funny fast enough.
Well, you got a long night ahead of you because you're heading up to Sand Air tomorrow for the Dirt Asphalt Challenge.
Yeah, we're going to unload our brand new Olsen asphalt car tomorrow, turn its first wheel, and we got to keep our fingers crossed. Hope it goes as good as it did tonight.
Well, things are really coming around for the Hearn Racing team here in 1992, and who knows, you could be a big winner tomorrow afternoon as well.
Well, I'll tell you, I'd just be happy to finish in the top 5, but if we could win it, that'd be unbelievable.
Well, congratulations, Brett Hearn, once again, and Jay Feinberg from the Tire House. He's got another RC car for you. And of course, now Brett has a pair of those RC cars.